What's up, metalheads? My name's Jamie. This is the Blades and EDC channel. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. If you're new, please consider subscribing. And if you enjoy this video, hit that like button for me. All right, guys, today I'm going to bring you my overview. Let me adjust this light a little bit here. My overview of the Grambeau knives Assetto. Grambeau Knives is a company, the designer's name is Grambeau. He's actually Australian, and he had this knife OEM by Bitster. This was a pre-order knife, which that pre-order has been delivered, but there's currently another pre-order going on right now. I'm not affiliated with him or anything, so it doesn't matter to me if you want to pre-order one or not. Listen to what I got to say about it, and then you can make your own decision on that. But the price on these is $277, and there's also a pre-order going for a frame lock variation of this knife. Exact same knife, except it's titanium frame lock for the same price, $277. The frame lock, same dimensions, the weight's different. The frame lock's 3.5 ounces. This is only 3 ounces. Give some size comparisons real quick. Here's the Grambeau Knives Russ, a much larger knife. I'm excited to see what Grambeau does in the future. These are his first two designs, and pretty impressive, honestly. Here is the F5.5 by Urban EDC Supply. I do have an overview coming of this knife very soon also. Here is the Wiha Knives Lucas P. Show you guys who, if this is in your price range, show you some of those knives that's, you probably recognize. Here is the Sharp by Design Mini Tempest. A masterpiece, I might add. A masterpiece. Knife perfection. Front flipping knife perfection right there. Here's the Rockwall. Oops, missed it. The Tactile Rockwall. It's a full-size knife and only 3 ounces, as you guys can see. Good size knife. Here's the God of Mischief by Renegade Provision Company. Overview coming of that in the near future. Here's some front flippers. How about the Bestech Nixie? Similar in size. Another Bestech knife, obviously. Both of these are Bestech. Here's the Artisan Cutlery Centauri, another front flipper. Quite a bit smaller than the Centauri. Very close in size to the Nixie. What else we got here? Here, how about this? Another front flipper. The Vosteed Bellamy. Alright, let's do some stuff people will recognize. How about the Demco AD 20.5? The Spyderco Yojimbo 2. Very similar in length to the Yojimbo 2. Thickness wise, this knife is pretty much identical to this knife, the Penguin. It's a little bit thinner on the edge here, right? But these scales are contoured, so in the middle it's going to be pretty much the same thickness as the Penguin, the liner lock Penguin. Feels very good in hand. It reminds me, the shape of this knife, I don't know if you'd call this a trailing point. No, it's not quite a trailing point. I guess it's a drop point, but it almost curves back up. But it reminds me a little bit of the shape of the knife reminds me a little bit of the Benchmade Mini Crooked River. Yeah, ergos on this knife are really good. Fantastic, actually. No hot spots anywhere at all. The pocket clip is nice and flat and contoured a little bit. So there's no, when I say flat, there's no points or anything. It is slightly contoured, and it just melts into your hand. No issues at all. No hot spots anywhere in this knife. There is no forward finger choil, so this is your grip. Medium-sized hand. You can see where I'm at. Feels very good in hand. The micarta's super nice. Bestech uses really nice micarta. Every Bestech knife I've had with micarta. It's very, very well done. Soft, but you get a little bit of traction at the same time. Cage ceramic ball bearings on the pivot, ceramic ball detent on the stainless steel lock bar insert, titanium backspacer. One thing I will point out is they put a little sharpening choil here, but you probably got 2 or 3 sharpenings before you're going to hit where that plunge grind comes down. There's a little bit there before you're going to hit it, but not too much. So overall, I think this knife is amazing. I really do. Little light on the detent. Not like terribly light, not like a bad light. It's because this knife is designed to be a front flipper, it's lighter, right? It's not going to be like a regular flipper. It's not going to have nearly as strong of a detent. It's perfect for a front flipper. The action's pretty good, even on the reverse flick. You do not have a full or anything, but it is fairly easy to do it, especially when you're not under the camera. I can get just enough traction with the meat of my finger to easily reverse flick it. Yeah, it's a nice knife, man. I like it. Generally, this shape is not really what I'm into. If I saw a picture of this, I wouldn't really be into this. But you get it in hand, and I'm like, yeah, I like that, man. That's super nice. The way your index finger lands here with this curve, and you got a little bit of a hump here, right? So middle finger goes on this side, index finger there. It just lines your thumb up perfectly right there. That's one thing I really wish they would have done with this knife, is continue that jimping on up here. That's your front flipper jimping there, right? So it'd been nice if it would have just gone right up here where your thumb lands. Not a big deal, obviously, but you know, if you're doing push cuts or anything like that, it'd be nice to have a little extra jimping up here. Even if you didn't go the entire way, just do a little bit up here, f5.5 style, right? Somewhere in the middle up there, just where your thumb would land. I think that would be something that would benefit this knife. The weight is so light on this knife because they have skeletonized these titanium scales, right? Hopefully I can get you to see this, but you can see the underside of the micarta in there. So very, very little titanium left, but it's very sturdy in hand. On the show side, it's very skeletonized. You can't see much of it at all. Very little titanium left in there. On the even on the lock side, the liner side, there's some skeletonization along the top here. Obviously, they couldn't do it down here because that's where your lock is at. But they skeletonized everything they possibly could on this knife to keep the weight down as light as they could possibly get it. And also with this blade, you got a nice swedge. Stop bouncing flashlight. Got a nice swedge here across the top, right? You got a very deep hollow grind. So, you know, it's 140 thousandths blade stock, but it's really only around the pivot in this one little flat area where it's that thick. The rest of this blade's gone with the swedge and the deep hollow. Yeah, it keeps the weight. It's extremely lightweight for its size. It deceivingly lightweight. You know, it's one of those knives you pick up and you expect it's going to have more weight to it than it does. Yeah, very lightweight knife, and make a great carry, honestly. I like it a lot. I will link his Instagram below, and I will also link the website below where you can pre-order the knives if you're interested in getting one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.